Let's talk about John Thompson. You're in D.C. You know
Yes,
Big
sir.
John and what he meant to Georgetown. What's
Oh.
his place in college basketball? I believe he's more than a coach.
Oh, John Thompson is one of the greatest figures that American sport has ever produced, number one. Number two, you're younger than me, but when I was coming up and Georgetown was playing, let me tell you what, that was Black America's team. Just like if the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, right, so to speak, Georgetown was Black America's team. The way they played, that Hoya paranoia, that defense, that the way in which, you know, Alonzo Mourning or Patrick Ewing or Dikembe Mutombo and the great Allen Iverson. You know, if he's 6 feet, I'm 25 feet. He might be 5'11", out here doing their thing, and he saved their lives, and especially Allen Iverson. I mean, but on a remarkable man, and made them go to class, made them go get their degrees, made them study hard, made them, right, become productive members of the academic community. And then he was a mentor to so many more, a loving patriarch. Yeah, he gonna cuss you out now. Make no mistake about that.
Doc, I heard the story about Rafer Edmond, and they said he was responsible for 60% of the narcotics being moved through D.C., but he had befriended some of the Georgetown players. They said Big Coach Thompson, Big John called him in and say, stay the F away from my players. Brother, and he did it.
Brother, let me tell you what. John Thompson was no joke, 6'10", of thunder and chocolate. You think Chocolate Thunder was the first one? Daryl Dawkins? No, Doc. This backup center for Bill Russell with the Boston Celtics was a man of his word. He was to be feared and respected. And people understood he was no joke, and he wanted his players to be protected, and not only from thugs in the street or other, you know, big drug dealers. He also, when he went to opposing teams and they were disrespectful with their racist vitriol against the bodies of, say, an Allen Iverson or his other players, calling Patrick Ewing an ape and all that, he held the team accountable on the other side. See, wasn't none of this, oh yeah, that's horrible.
That's kids being kids.
You are going to be, I'm going to forfeit the game if you don't kick their butts out now. John Thompson used his authority in a way that should have been used and that many others were afraid to do, but he did it with aplomb and discretion, but also power. A great man, a great coach, a great inspirational figure, a great mentor, a man who was able to make sure his kids were going to be protected, and a man who saw promise where there was none. Remember, Allen Iverson had been in prison.
Correct.
And he shouldn't have been. First of all, he should have never been there, because maiming by chair was the literal accusation made against him, for which he was in prison, which is nuts, because he didn't even throw a chair. But you're in the vicinity, your guys and the white people and black people throwing stuff. They ain't put none of the white people in jail, but they put the black superstar in jail. And if it were not for, Douglas Wilder, Jesse Jackson, and, maybe Spike Lee, but certainly John Thompson, who saved him, who took him on, this man we would have never seen one of the greatest players ever. And was it Kobe and other people said, if Allen Iverson was 6'6", ain't no conversation about who the greatest of all time would have been, bro. Because the man's heart was incredible. His will, his skill, his ability to score, unbelievable. All of that because of the great John Thompson.
I love what Coach Thompson said when they told him and I'm sure he knew this, that he was the first black coach to win a national championship in basketball. He said, I might have been the first black person who was provided the opportunity to compete for this prize, but you have discriminated against thousands of my ancestors and denied them this opportunity. That's what he said. He could have said, thank you, I really appreciate that. He would say, no. He said, I might have been the first that was afforded this opportunity.
That's right.
But don't forget, you denied thousands of people just like me that was just as qualified as me the opportunity, the same opportunity that I have, you denied them.
See, that's beautiful. And look how gracious that is. He could have said, like you said, yeah, I'm the stuff, I'm the only brother. He knows there were other brothers who could have won had they had the opportunity. That's what we meant when we said Barack Obama, as great as he is, one of the greatest presidents ever, top 10. but there are some other brothers and sisters could have been president. There are other black people who could have been firsts if we had permitted them the opportunity. Kamala Harris ain't the first black woman who is capable of having been, nominated as a vice president.
Yeah,
Barbara Jordan could have done this. I mean, there's so many others who could have been elected or nominated, as great as Kamala Harris is. So, yeah, I mean, I love that response because that puts the burden back on the white folk who are trying to congratulate him in a way. And he was saying, no, y'all messed up. Right. Y'all could have had others. But look, Josh Gibson, Josh White, you celebrating Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth wasn't the greatest ball player. Right. He was the greatest white ball player. Oh my God, are you kidding? Great, because he didn't play against the brothers. Because if he played against the brothers, that'd have been a different story. He wasn't playing against that black pitcher. They said Josh, was it Gibson or White, was the greatest home run hitter ever, died very early, one of the greatest ever. Let's see him square off against a Babe Ruth, right? It's not like it was open like with Tom Terrific, who just died, one of the greatest pitchers ever, top 10. Mr. Met himself. That was a bad man. And he was pitching against Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson. So we know him. Bob Gibson, one of the coldest ever flamethrowers.
He was.
I mean, man, that's my he at 10 years old when I saw him out here beating my team in Detroit, right? I was 9 years old in Detroit, and he's throwing that fire. I went down to my ghetto sandlot at the end of the block and started throwing that ball because Bob Gibson was inspiring me to do that. So yes, there are many other black people, and John Thompson was as gracious as they come by saying many others could have been able to do this had they been afforded the opportunity to do so.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something for two something.